Hello everybody and welcome back. So this is another mod video. I know I've already done one, but I saw this mod and I had to kind of make this. So this is another mod video, but not just any mod. It is a Game of Thrones mod, the first of its kind actually, I believe, currently with Bannerlord. And it's so exciting to see what the future holds for modding in Bannerlord as we see these mods come out. Nothing major yet because the official tools haven't been released, but it's exciting to see things take their first steps. So we knew there were going to be Game of Thrones mods releasing in the future, much further down the line I was believing. But I'm sure I'm not alone in saying this, that we are all eagerly anticipating them. But it seems this particular one is in its first steps of development. This mod is called A Twist of Fate, a mod by a creator who goes by the name of Shadowclaimer 2. So ultimately the vision for this mod is to be a complete overhaul of Bannerlord, with the factions that we all know and love from the books and TV series, such as the Starks, Lannisters, Tully, Royce, Tyrell, Baratheon, Targaryen, Greyjoy, and Martell. Those are the ones that are put up currently on their modding page. Unique characters from the TV shows and factions themselves. Personally, I was just thinking about this. I would love to see some Stark bannermen defending Winterfell and standing by Jon Snow in battle and seeing him take out people. To me, that is just crazy. Things like that just make me go crazy with excitement and ideas for what mods like this would bring. So currently, what state is this mod in? Well, Shadowclaimer has currently got this mod in early access as a kind of a test ground for the troop trees that he's planning on bringing up for the different factions. And just to be able to mess around with the stats and kind of fine-tune it, if that makes sense. And, you know, getting these values in, these base values for all these units, kind of setting the ground ready for when the official mod tools arrive and he can start really doing some work with it. He is working like crazy on this, currently, bringing constant patches. He's just working all the time as of right now. Much like the devs on the main game right now, bringing a patch out pretty much every single day since release. And he does actually have a roadmap right now for the targets he wants to hit. I'm not sure if there is anybody else working on this mod. I believe it's just him, but I could be wrong on that. Please forgive me if I am. This roadmap is currently in the form of phases from 1 through 3. So in phase 1, we've got alpha phase 1 targets, and that's currently where the mod is right now, as it only released on the 9th of April. As a page on, on Nexus itself. So, he wants to establish the House Stark clan and Northern culture troop trees. So, you know, like the Starks and all that. He wants to get those troop trees kind of done. And I'm sure he's going to fine-tune it afterwards as well. But just get it mainly down. Give a series of towns for the Northern culture to be able to test out the soldiers, how they perform in battle, and things of that nature. And he wants to implement something called the Stark Youth Troop Tree. So I'm assuming that's probably just like the main game now, where you've got the regular troop trees for that particular culture, but then you've got a specific type of troop that you can hire, like the noblemen of Britannia and stuff like that, the young nobles. I'm sure it's going to be the same thing where the Starks, they get their own noble youth troop tree or something of that nature, where you can get an elite Stark bannerman line or something like that. I don't know, but I'm assuming that's the way it's going to go for all the factions in the game. So his phase 2 target is to establish the rest of the main factions that we know in a similar way. Basically the ones I listed off earlier, the Lannister, Tully, Royce, Tyrell, Baratheon, Targaryen, Greyjoy and Martell. And he wants to do test pre-built relationships between factions and warfare. Because I believe they're going to be bringing in the characters much later down the line and bring unique models to them. And that would be just, again, like I said, so cool to see Jon Snow defending Winterfell. So Alpha Phase 3 targets, it's begin implementation of the major households for each region. So he wants to do 8 to 12, I'm assuming, settlements for each region and for each faction. And to bring their own subcultures, which I find particularly interesting. That sounds like, you know, I can't wait to see where this mod goes. Again, it's in its very early stages. We can't know exactly and predict everything where this mod's going to go. It's completely obviously up to the mod developer. And I'm just super interested to see where it goes with this. And he wants to ensure that all the houses have their own youth troop tree, which I'm sure, so each faction will have its own elite troop tree, which is nice to see. I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm assuming the Lannisters would have some sort of cavalry. I've never read the book, so I've never heard of specifics and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that would be super cool. I have no idea what each faction would bring to the table, but obviously you guys can speculate what are the best types of soldiers that each faction could bring to the table in the elite category. So providing everything goes well with developing this mod, I believe you would like to turn it into a total conversion mod when it gets to that scope, if it gets to that scope. Once all the factions and troop trees are completed for said factions. The mod that you download now actually replaces the Empire units with the Northmen units that Shadowclaimer has started working on already, and as I said, phase 1 it's going to be working on House Stark of all things, so which is fine with me. It's my favorite. That's my favorite house in Game of Thrones. I'm absolutely fine with that. So the Northmen do use armor from native Bannerlord as of right now, although I'm sure that the names of particular troops, the gear and the stats is definitely subject to change down the line as they get further into development and they can take the liberties to change things of that nature. But right now they need to get the base stuff down, ready again for the main modding tools of the game. So right now what you can do is basically get an army and test them out as to be expected. This mod is only taking its baby steps right now. But hopefully I can give it some attention, even if it's just a little, just a few hundred people watching this video and knowing about this mod coming out would just give it that little extra boost. I don't know what it will do, but you know, I think that's pretty cool to be able to push it to the front a little bit. So there is a link to the mod down below. Please check it out and consider joining their Discord as well to report any bugs. Again, link will be down below for the Discord itself. Once you join their Discord, you'll just be able to report bugs with the mod currently that you come across, which would be super helpful for Shadowclaimer, I am sure. And I can't wait to see what this mod becomes, and I will be covering all major updates that release for this mod, like new factions, character models, although that'll be much further down the line. And just, you know, when they bring more specific stuff and just major updates for this mod that really bring it that up, you know, upper tier. So I think that'll be really cool to see. But that's all from me, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.